Okay, great. And we are recording. So welcome everybody to our webinar today. Today we have Stephanie Benson with Mountainland Aging and Family Services presenting to us Caring for the Caregiver. She's going to be going over some really great information and also sharing some resources from her organization. And Mountainland Aging and Family Services provides education, resources, and services that empower families to thrive at home and in our community. They are a local organization, and so we're going to be able to hear about some of the great services that they offer and some of the free workshops that are also available to you. So Stephanie, I will turn the presentation over to you.
Thank you. So I'm going to share my screen. You always hope that everything behaves. All right. So if you can't see, please let me know. I should be an adult son helping his aging father. So as Sylvia mentioned, I am Stephanie Benson and I work at MAG Aging and Family Services. We are headquartered in Orem, but we provide services in Utah, Wasatch, and Summit counties. So we are considered the area agency on aging. So typically what we provide does tend to focus more on the aging part of aging and family services. We are trying to make our family focused services more robust. So I'm going to spend a little bit of time talking about both. So in the state of Utah, there are 12 area agencies on aging. We are tasked to provide services and resources for our service area. So even if you don't live in Utah, Wasatch, or Summit County, there is an area agency on aging. They call us AAAs because it's government and acronyms abound. You could find similar services to where you live. So we have been providing services in our area since 1974. And it's been it's a changing landscape, especially this particular year of what we are what we serve and what we do and our focuses. So we provide, as she mentioned, we provide education, resources, and services that empower aging adults to thrive at home and in our community. We tend to focus a little bit more on later life chapters, but our services for especially caregivers is really hoping to start encompassing more of the lifespan as a whole. Because we are a government organization, we really do pride ourselves on providing unbiased insight that helps you make informed decisions. We don't make money off of our services and we don't get kickbacks for referring to specific organizations. Our goal is to give you good information so that you know what you need and what resources are available to you. So we have our services divided up into 3 categories. Everyday living, which is the kind of services that help with the day-to-day. Transition plans, services that help as you are going from one stage to the other, where it is not being a caregiver to becoming a caregiver, working to becoming retired, becoming a caregiver, and maybe switching your role as a caregiver. Those all take some planning, and we have a batch of services that help with that. And then we have one we call community connections, and that is really providing additional services that can help connect within the community. Among those 3 different buckets, we provide about 20 different programs. I'm not going to spend my time or yours going over each one. I selected some that I thought would be the most interesting to you. And we'll start with our senior nutrition program. Most people are pretty familiar with the Meals on Wheels program, and that is run out of our office. And so one reason I did want to make sure that I did highlight some of our aging services is there, I'm sure you've heard of it, it's called the sandwich generation, where there are where you would be caring for your own family, as well as caring for your aging parents. And that is becoming really common. And so I did want to make sure that you were aware of some of our aging programs as well, if you do fall into that category. That's something that I'm actually familiar with. I'm raising my own family, and the struggles that come with that. And my father-in-law is in his mid-70s and had a stroke last year. And so we are doing a lot more to help care for him, and take on more roles. And so it has interesting as a caregiver, um, on both ends of the spectrum, and the challenges that can entail. So one of our programs that it can be quite beneficial is our senior nutrition program. We provide a lunchtime meal for anyone who is over the age of 60. So this is especially helpful for caregivers. That way you're not rushing over and preparing a meal, that there is something that is provided and taken care of. If you don't live with your loved one, or if you do, this is a wonderful option, to make sure that that's just one less thing to worry about. So for those who are over 60 and can still drive and get out of the home, they can pick up a meal at their local city senior center. Right now, during COVID, it is curbside pickup only, and the only eligibility is that they need to be 60 years old or older. So it's pretty open, to those. Every senior center is a little bit different, and it does change, on what they're offering. So the best thing I would recommend is to call your local city senior center, and to find out what is being offered in your area. The other option that we have, and this is for those who are unable to leave home without assistance, is the Meals on Wheels program. And Meals on Wheels provides that lunch, but it's delivered to their home. So eligibility for that program is they need to be at least 60 years old and considered homebound. And the way that we define homebound is unable to leave home without assistance. During the pandemic, we are doing contactless delivery. So they are able to still get a safe, good meal, but not have to worry about that contamination. So that is a wonderful option if you are needing a little additional help for your parents. Either one of these, depending on what their ability is a wonderful, wonderful option. And please chat. Sylvia's taking care of the chat. If there are any questions throughout, please stop me. We also offer some in-home programs. So one of our goals is to keep individuals living at home as long as possible, and as long as their caregiver would like to have them live there. So we have some in-home programs that provide non-medical services that enable that person to live at home. So in terms, involves case management, personal care, homemaking and chore services is a tiny part of that. It could be non-medical transportation, adult daycare. It just depends on what is needed and what we're able to provide. Most of these programs do look at age and income, but we do have one that is anyone who is over the age of 18, if they're currently residing in a facility. This is an option, a way to provide services in the home so that they can move home. So this is really could be a great opportunity for those who either need to stay home, need a little extra help, or would like to get home and need a little bit extra help. And then this is probably where we'll spend the bulk of our time talking, is our caregiver support program. And we believe that caring for a loved one requires the support of the community, and we want to be part of that community. So one of our programs is the Utah Caregiver Support Program. It is an in-home program that I mentioned before, but this one actually does not look at income. It does help caregivers of a loved one who is over 60. But it can provide care for someone over the age of 60, or anyone or any age, if they have Alzheimer's disease. It can also help a caregiver if they are a primary caregiver, and the caregiver is over the age of 55, and they are caring for someone under the age of 18 who is not their child, and if the parent is not able to care for them. This program provides respite. It's about $1,500. You get it either for a year, you can get help for a calendar year, or there's $1,500 spend that you can do to get respite and additional services to have them come in. That is a wonderful program, and we always have openings for it. We offer virtual support groups for those who are caring for a senior loved one, and we have some classes, which I'm going to delve into a little bit more. And then we have a whole breadth of services that focus on caring for a loved one who has dementia. We have one-on-one training with caregivers. We offer a class called Dealing with Dementia, and we have this incredible program called Music and Memory. And what it does is we work with the caregiver to find music that could have positive feelings and memories associated with it, to create a customized playlist, and as a way to provide some comfort and some relief for their loved one. And it's pretty incredible to see the power of music and what it can do. So that one is pretty special. So as I mentioned, a lot of our, there we go. One class that we have just started offering is called Stressbusting for Caregivers. This class is incredible, and the reason I would love to spend the most time on this one is that this is for anybody caring for someone who has a chronic illness. It does not matter the age of the caregiver, and we don't look at the age of the person that they are caring for. What we are looking, who would be eligible for this, is somebody who finds that they are overwhelmed and feeling stressed and would like to learn some proven stress reducing techniques. And it is a 9-week course on Wednesdays from 10 a.m. till 11:30 a.m. There is a typo there. Excuse me, but that's supposed to be an a.m. next to that 11:30. To join the class, you would need to attend all 9 weeks. It is a virtual class. We are doing that via Zoom. So, those who have attended the class have left. They have felt that their impact, they are a lot less stressed. They know how to manage their stress, and it's frustrating because it's learning that, as I'm preaching to the choir here, that there's not a lot that you can change in your caregiving situation. But if we can give you the tools that you need to help reduce the stress, it could give you what you need to be, I don't want to say be a better caregiver because you're already wonderful, but to help you with that in that caregiver journey, help reduce that stress, help to find the techniques that you need to really master that. So this class we still have a few spots open. It is free. And you do get a book that goes over stress busting for caregivers, and it has a lot of tips. And we have 2 wonderful trainers who train this program and really walk you through it and create that special camaraderie with you. So as I mentioned, so it's every Wednesday for 9 weeks. The first Wednesday that it starts is January 27th. If you are interested and would like to join us, you please email education@mountainland.org, and we can get you registered for the class. As I mentioned, seating is limited because it is Zoom and we want to have a good interactive experience. So please, if you are even considering it, don't hesitate to let us know if you would like to be there. We also offer the HEAT program. The HEAT program, it provides a one-time per year utility payment assistance to low-income individuals and families. The program used to be only available in the winter season, which is why it was called HEAT, but they have, with COVID, changed that to be year-round. You were just, it's a one-time payment per year. So you'd have to wait until the year after that payment to apply again, but you can apply each year. Right now, we're accepting applications online or by mail. To be eligible, you would need to meet 150% of federal poverty level. And I can look up that number if there's anyone who wants to know what that is. One thing that I think is really important to note is you can deduct medical expenses. So premium insurances, insurance premiums, co-pays, eyeglasses, dental expenses, those can all be deducted so that you can get to that eligibility line. If there is someone in your house you're caring for, you yourself or your child is receiving SSI, there's an additional $150 of benefit. So the way that HEAT does work is they look at your eligibility the month prior to your application. So it doesn't look over the year to see what your eligibility is. So if you apply in December, they'll look at November's income and deductions to see if you are eligible. So this is really an excellent way to get a little bit of extra help, especially with high utility costs this time of year. We also offer the weatherization program. And that program, they would go into your home and figure out ways to make it more energy efficient. So it's a good partner program with the HEAT program. If you find, they will do an energy audit to figure out what is the best option to make your house more energy efficient, but common things are resealing windows, better insulation, new furnace, that sort of thing. And they go hand in hand. Yes, we want to help those who have a hard time paying their utility bills, but we also want to help make your home more energy efficient if we can. So eligibility is, if you are eligible for HEAT, you would be eligible for the weatherization program. That one does have a little bit of a waiting list, but it's worth getting on it. And if you rent, you can still, with either HEAT or weatherization, if you are a renter, you can still get assistance. Depending on your personal situation, your individual situation, you might need approval from your landlord, especially if you're renting and you want to do the weatherization, they do need to approve that. But that is a wonderful option to just get a little bit extra help, make it more efficient year round. Additional services that we offer options counseling. So for anyone who has any questions about the aging process, and we often hear there should be a book written about it. We have someone who can sit down. Right now it's virtually, so a sit down, but to go over the options. You can tell them your situation and they can walk through what is available to you. We do the long-term care ombudsman. Is based out of our office, and they advocate for anybody in an assisted living, skilled nursing facility, any kind of facility, regardless of age. They advocate for. It's especially tricky this time because they don't have as much access, but they are wonderful at giving good information and really advocating for those who need a little bit of support and need their rights supported. We offer Medicare counseling. If you are about to get on Medicare and that age bracket, or you have a loved one who might need someone to just sit down and talk to them and make sure that they're on the right plan, we have Medicare counselors. They don't work for an insurance company. They really are there to just give you the facts and help you make good decisions. We did just end open enrollment 2 days ago, so but they still can go over what is available. And we do have a Medicare 101 class that we host monthly. So for those who want to join and get some information about what it looks like upon retirement, that is a really great option. And then we offer 3 wonderful volunteer opportunities. Meals on Wheels is always looking for volunteers. It used to be, and you still could do it with a family. It's a little bit different because we do have some pretty strict precautions when we are delivering. But families often deliver together and drop off the meal. And they're in all 3 counties, they're always looking for volunteers. We also offer the Retired and Senior Volunteer Program. This is for anybody over the age of 55 who wants to get involved more in the community. And then we offer the Friendly Callers Program. And this one's new. It's still budding and it has been so helpful, but it connects volunteers to homebound seniors who might be feeling a little lonely or isolated, which is especially common in 2020. And they will pair them together, and there is a weekly phone call between the two. And it's just to check in, see how things are going, just really provide a little bit of a lifeline for them, someone outside of their circle. So this is especially great if you have a senior loved one who isn't close, or maybe you're not able to be with them as much, could use someone else just checking in, that extra friend. This is a wonderful, wonderful option for them. And then one of the other things that we provided, I mentioned at the beginning, we really do pride ourselves on being unbiased with the information that we give. We compile a senior help guide, and it provides information and resources for seniors and their families in Utah, Wasatch, and Summit counties. We have a physical copy if there's someone who wants an actual book, but we also offer it online. And it is by category. You can see here, it shows you can, advocacy or assisted living facilities, counseling, those that we know of in the community that offer these types of services. We have those available for you to contact. And so this is kind of the end of mine. If you do have any questions, we have a senior helpline, 801-229-3804. We have someone who's very educated in community resources. If it is something that we do not offer, we will help you find who does. And we want to, it is challenging it can be challenging to age, and it can be challenging to care for an aging loved one, and we want to help be there as you navigate that. And then you can also visit our website, which is mountainland.org/aging. That has links to all of the programs that I have talked about today. So, are there any questions?
Stephanie, could you share with us some of the information that our parents might be able to learn about in the online session, the workshop that you guys have starting next month, some of the stress management techniques, and just a little snippet of what they might learn to help apply to being a parent caregiver?
Sure. So it helps with, it teaches you the impact. So there's a little bit of the age education piece that does talk about stress, the impact of stress on your health, how it relates to caregiving. Sometimes it helps to just have that extra connection of realizing, like, I think it's not hard for us to know that, yes, we are indeed stressed, and how that can connect and affect our caregiving. They go over how to deal with stress through relaxation techniques. And one thing that I think is really neat is problem solving. And then they talk a lot about how to care for yourself while providing better care for your loved one. So they have, if you want me to, I can pull up the session titles for each week. Is that more what you're looking for?
Yeah, I think that would be great. I think just like a little sneak peek so we can learn more what we might be able to find out at those other sessions.
Let me pull that up. I didn't have that on my ready, so bear with me, please. So there was a question that said about Alzheimer's only or dementia. What was that referring to? Both. I'm going to assume it's both. All of our services is if it's specific, if we talk about dementia, it's Alzheimer's. We can provide services for Alzheimer's as well. Dementia is an umbrella term that covers Alzheimer's, frontal temporal lobe dementia. I believe Parkinson's is under that umbrella as well. So we do have some very Alzheimer's specific techniques and classes and things that we talk about. But it also goes as broad as anyone under that dementia umbrella. I hope, Diana, that answers your question. If not, please chat in. I didn't see it until just barely. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that totally answered it. You just used the term Alzheimer's so clearly. And so on the next slide, it said the next dementia. So I was clear then. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. And then Taylor, what is that is the most common for adults with disabilities. Yes. Okay, I got distracted. It's going to take me a quick minute to pull it up. I'm so sorry I didn't have the course schedule. Okay, I have it. So I'll actually pull it up so you can all see. Let's see. So the overview for this program, it's proven to reduce caregiver stress, reduce anger and hostility, reduce anxiety, and improve quality of life. So we do have 2 certified facilitators. We meet with a small group because it is, I don't want to say it's support groupy, but we wanted to be able, it's more of a conversation, collaboration, where you get to participate, and they want a really neat dynamic of kind of that camaraderie. So it tends to be a smaller group. The one that we offer is this bottom one, the Stressbusting Program for family caregivers of persons with a chronic condition, chronic illness. So it could be some form of dementia, but it also could be any chronic illness. And that's the caregiver could be of any age, and the one that they give care to can be of any age. So the things that they talk about, week 1 is a getting started. They talk about relaxation and breathing. Week 2, we talk about stress, the effects of the mind, body, and the spirit, and focus a little bit more on meditation. Week 3, it's caregiver stress and relaxation. And the stress management technique is imagery. So after each week, after they talk about what's going on and what's needed, there is a stress management technique. It's more than just learning, oh, how nice. They want to give you something that you can actually use and implement each week. So after week 4, understanding and managing difficult and challenging situations, the stress management technique is a hand massage. With grief, loss, and depression on week 5, the stress management technique is art. I'll keep reading them. Week 6, it's coping with stress, discussions of changeable and unchangeable stressors, changing roles and relationships and use of coping strategies, and aromatherapy is the stress management technique. Week 7, positive thinking, it's changing the way that one can think and how to view situations in a more positive framework. Journaling is the stress management technique for that week. And then week 8, taking care of yourself and healthy living. And the stress management technique for that one is music. So before, if you do register, there is a book that you would be given for free, and a little kit that has, so like when we're doing aromatherapy, there's something that you can smell. There's a little lotion for the hand massage. I think they might have done a shell that you could hold for the imagery. Kind of imagining. I think it's to go with the imagining you're on a beach, but it goes a lot deeper than that. It's less cliche and it's more really tangible. So we had our first session just ended 2 weeks ago, and those who attended had the most positive things to say. Just really great about the things that they learned, but also the camaraderie of the group and what they felt there, which was really neat. So, so that goes over. I'm glad that I found that. Felt quickly to me. I'm sure it felt like a long time to you. But that is the course that it is, as I mentioned, it does start January 27th. We are already accepting registration. So we would love to have you join us if that sounds like something that you could benefit from. There is a screening when you call. They'll just make sure that, yes, you do indeed can attend all 9 weeks, and that you understand how to use Zoom, but all of you are are here and doing great, so there's no concern there. And to just make sure that this is a good fit for you. But it's one we're really excited to be offering. Sylvia, is there anything else you wanted me to show with this program?
Were you able to scroll down and just show us the link if families wanted to register?
So the plate, so this is something from like the WellMed Foundation. It's their program that we are implementing. You would want to email, let me get back to it. So you would want to send an email to education@mountainland.org. And then we would have, it would either be I or one of our facilitators, her name is Faylene, she's wonderful, would contact you to finish the registration for the program. It seems a little bit odd to be talking about something about the end of January, but here we are. Time flies, it seems.
And folks, I put the email for signing up to register for that class in the group chat here. Does anyone have any other questions for Stephanie about the programs, the resources, or any of the details of the class? And Stephanie, we have a question that just popped up for you in the chat there. Would you like to take a look there and answer? Taylor has a question.
Okay. So what exactly is the question?
I guess with some of the stress management techniques,
Would they help with that?
they help with nightmares or some of the other, just kind of looks like some nightmares that have been waking her up and disturbing sleep?
Sure. I don't believe that the class specifically addresses nightmares, but the idea is that it would give you that overall stress reduction, and knowing what you can do, like what you have. There's so much in caregiving that you don't have control over, but knowing and having the tools you need to take care of those that you do. So do you ever offer the caregiver class in the evenings for working parents? That's a great idea. We are trying about a bunch of different times. I will let them know when we're planning for our next session. I think that's a great idea to do evenings. We've also considered doing like a Saturday as well. And just kind of seeing what works for people in general. So yes, I hope that we would offer something. If we do, whenever we have our new session starting, if it's okay, I'd love to give that information to Sylvia. And she can pass the information along when we have new sessions in different times. That's a great question.
And Stephanie, if a family was not able to join the session that starts at the end of January, what's the frequency of the workshops? And
So
after COVID, are they ever in person?
We always hope to do online has advantages. So we always hope to probably always have an online class, at least happening throughout the year. So for those who it's difficult to leave home, depending on your caregiving situation, it can be difficult to leave. And so we want to always have that as an option, but we would like to go back once COVID is not a concern. We would like to do some in-person sessions as well. So a little bit of both. And then I'm so sorry, I lost your first question.
Oh, the frequency. If someone was interested but couldn't sign up
Yes.
at the end of January, because you said they have to come
Yeah.
to all 9 sessions, when would the next round of workshops be available, and where can they find out about that?
So you can find out about it on our website. So if you go to mountainland.org/aging, we have a section on education, our education offerings. Right now we are once the 9 weeks are over, then we will schedule the next one to start. So we don't, at this current time, we don't have any sessions going concurrently. So it would be probably beginning of April is when our next session would start, and to be determined what day and time we would be offering those. But our website, mountainland.org/aging, and you can always, if you are interested, this isn't the time that works for you. You can't make either it's this time of year or it's the time of day. Please email education@mountainland.org. I'm keeping a list of those who are interested. So as future sessions become available, we can contact you directly and give you a first opportunity to register for the next class. So yes, that's a great question.
Are there
Are there any other questions? Oh,
Stephanie?
sorry, we talked over each other.
Any other questions for Stephanie?
I just want to thank you. Lots of information very quickly. I appreciate it.
I talk very fast and I'm very sorry.
I speak very
love what we
fast,
do
so
so
I
much.
love it.
We're on the same page. Well, thank you
Yeah.
for having me. It was my pleasure.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Stephanie. We love being able to share local resources with our families so you can learn about other programs and services that are available to you. I did post the email to sign up for the next workshop, and it sounds like we can get most of the information like for the HEAT program and things like that on the website, Mountainland Aging. Is it mountainland.org or Mountainland Aging? I'm sorry.
I'll chat it in.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
So that's our website. It'll link you to anything that we talked about today. The education@mountainland.org, that goes to me as well. So if you have any questions, you need to be connected, you don't know where to go, I will get you there. I'll help you find where you need to go. So just let me know.
Well, thank you so much, Stephanie. It's great to know all of these great organizations that are local and available to us. And we shouldn't let aging stand in the way, right? Because there's a lot of caregiving services and services for family, not just folks that are taking care of older parents or older family members.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate you sharing that information with us, and I appreciate all of you for coming and joining us today. And we are going to send out the link to the recording of this webinar. I'll probably send it out either later this evening or tomorrow morning. And so if you had someone that wanted to join or you missed something, we'll have a link available for you very soon. Thank you, everyone. Have a great rest of your evening.